Good afternoon, students. How are you all? Hope you all are fine at home. Okay, soon we are going to meet in the school, isn't it? Okay, very good. Students, today we will learn in the 27th lesson about the board of directors composition. How many that combination of the directors. Okay, what are the directors must be included in the board. Okay, first one, the general combination. General combination that ordinary combination of the directors. Okay, here both executive and non-executive directors must be there. Okay, executive and non-executive directors, and any one director must be a woman director. Okay, and then 50 percentage, not less than 50 percentage, that means more than 50 percentage of the directors must be non-executive directors. Okay, executive directors we will learn who are the meaning. Okay, executive directors and non-executive directors in the further topics. Okay, so executive directors and non-executive directors it combines, and at least one woman director must be there in the board of director, and more than 50 percentage of the director must constitute the non-executive directors. Okay, then in the next combination, if the non-executive director is the chairperson. Okay, if the non-executive director is a chairperson, what should be the combination of the directors? Here, if the chairperson is a non-executive director, here at least one third of the board of directors must be independent directors. Okay, if the non-executive director is a chairperson, at least one third of the directors must be independent directors. We will learn what is the meaning of these independent directors. And half of the directors, that means more than 50 percentage, okay, must be the independent directors. Here, non-executive director is a chairperson. At least one third of the directors must be independent. If the non-executive director is not the chairperson, okay, chairperson is not a non-executive director. At least half of the directors must be independent directors. Okay, then in the third condition, non-executive that director acting as the chairperson, and he is the promoter or related to promoter. Okay, relation. He is related to any promoter. Then what will be the combination? Here, same thing. Here, one half. Okay, one half. At least half of the directors must be the independent directors. Okay, if the non-executive chairperson, he is a promoter or he is related to promoter, then what is the combination? At least one half of the directors must be the independent directors. Okay, the second condition here. If the non-executive director is not a chairperson, we have studied at least half of the directors must be independent directors. Okay. Now we will see some of the term of the directors. Okay. Directors here. Whole-time director. It's easy term, isn't it? Whole-time means he has devoted the full time working hours in the office only. Okay, whole-time directors. That means he is working as the whole time director, and that is the main source of his income, the salary that he has received. Okay, so the whole time director, and he is having the full interest over the affairs of the company also. Okay, then managing director. Managing director, this managing director has more powers. Okay, more powers or substantial powers over the affairs of the company. Okay, he has the substantial powers, more powers than the whole time directors. They are the managing director. Usually managing director will be one. Okay, one MD only will be in a company. Okay, he has the power to supervise, that superintendents. Okay, superintendents, then direction and control of the affairs of the company. He has the power to control or direct the board of directors, all the directors. Okay, the managing director, he has more powers or substantial powers with regard to superintendents or direction and control of the board. Okay, now we will learn who are the executive and non-executive directors. Okay, here we have studied executive and non-executive director. Here we can say who is an executive director. He is the chief executive officer. Okay, or the managing director. Okay, all these terms are interrelated. Okay, director means we know one person who has substantial power to control over the affairs of the company. He is the director. All these whole time director means he will be spending the whole full working hours to the in the company. Okay, then managing director, he has the control over the superintendents, that means supervising them, directing them and controlling the board of directors. He is the MD, we say. Okay, so again, executive director, here we can say executive director means the chief executive officer, the chief person who has the full control over the affair. Okay, chief executive officer or the managing director, he has the full responsibility. Okay, he has the full responsibility to take decisions. Okay, he has the full responsibility to take decisions over the any affairs of the company. Okay, he has the full control, full responsibility to take the decisions with regard to any problems or affairs in the company. Now practically we can say who is the CEO. We can say the president of the company, we say. Okay, that word president or CEO, executive officer, we will say. Okay, and but actually we can say the MD also, managing director. He may be acting as the CEO, chief executive director, but chief executive officer, but he is considered as the director. Now we have learned who is the non-executive director. Who is not an executive director is a non-executive director. Okay, if he is not a executive director, what an executive director will do? He will be having the full responsibility to take decisions about the problems, isn't it? So he will be always in the company, but this non-executive directors, he will not come and manage the company daily. Okay, and he has the power to monitor the other directors, how they work. Okay, the non-executive directors have the responsibility to monitor the other executive directors, and they have to act for the best interest of the all the stakeholders. Best interest of the all stakeholders. Stakeholders means including the shareholders, then shareholders, the creditors, the bankers, okay, all those who are engaged in the affairs, that means the managing the company, okay. So or not managing the company, those who have interest, even the society also will be coming under the stakeholders, okay. So they have to act for the best interest of these all the stakeholders, okay. So they have, these non-executive directors have the power to monitor the all the directors, maybe the other directors, okay, the chief executive directors, the executive directors, they can monitor, okay, but they will not they will not interfere the day to day affairs of the management, okay, but they have the power to monitor the work of the executive directors, okay. The main difference between the executive director and the non-executive director, okay, they have the full they are the executive directors have the full control over the affairs, and they are working that as the full-time directors. But the non-executive directors, they do not interfere, they do not involve in the day-to-day management. But what they do, they have the full control, they have the power or the responsibility to monitor the work of the executive directors, okay. Now we will learn the type of directors. Types of directors. The first one is residential director. Residential director means a person or a director who has stayed in India not less than 182 days. Okay, residential director. For the income tax purpose we will learn this one, residential person. Okay, residential person means not less than 182 days a person must be in India. More than 182 days. Okay, minimum 182 days he must be in India. In which year? In the previous calendar year. Then we can say that director is a residential director. Okay. Then independent director. We have learned, independent director. Who is an independent director? Here we can say a director other than the managing director. Okay, he may not be the managing director. So a director who is other than the managing director is an independent director. Okay, so we can say the managing director is the whole-time director. Okay, or the nominee director. Okay, independent director means other than the managing director and nominee director. Nominee directors are not independent directors. Okay, they are nominated by other, that we will learn, nominee director. So a director who is other than the managing director and a nominee director is called independent director. Which companies have to appoint these independent directors? Okay, a public company. A public company which have the paid up share capital. We have learned in accountancy, isn't it? Paid up share capital of rupees 10 crore or more. this company, a public company which have a paid up share capital of rupees 10 crore or more, has to appoint the independent directors. And again, a public company whose total turnover is above rupees 100 crore. 100 crore or more if their turnover means sales. Okay, if their sales per year is above 100 rupees crore, then that company also must appoint the independent directors. And again, all these public companies only must appoint the independent directors. Okay, then again, public companies which have the outstanding loans or debentures and deposits totally, if it is rupees 50 crore or more. Okay, if their total loans, debentures and deposits comes around 50 crore or more, then that public company must also appoint the independent directors. Now we have understood the meaning. Who are the independent directors? Okay, any director who is other than the managing director and the nominee director, they are the independent directors. Okay, now third one, small shareholders directors. Small shareholders directors. Here from the heading itself we can understand who are these directors. The small shareholders, they can appoint one director, a single director in a listed company. Listed company, we know the company which is listed in the stock exchange. Okay, so a listed company must appoint one director, single director. That director must be appointed by the small shareholders. Okay, for this, to appoint the small shareholders directors, they have to send a notice to at least 1,000 shareholders. Okay, 1,000 shareholders or 1/10 of the total shareholders. Okay, these shareholders only must appoint this director, small shareholders director. Okay, in order to protect the small shareholders interest, they are appointing one director. Okay, so that director is called small shareholders directors. Then the nominee director. Nominee, from the name itself, somebody will nominate this director. Who will nominate this director? Maybe a financial institution. If they have lent a large amount to that company, so that financial institution may be either they may be banks. Okay, or the financial institution, they will appoint one director, nominee director, either for some time being. Okay, maybe for a limited period of time, or for an agreement, or for any other purpose they may appoint. Either the financial institution or even government can also appoint a director. He can nominate a director. Okay, they are called nominee directors. Okay, or any other person also, maybe the creditors. Okay, or maybe the investors. Any interested people can nominate a person as the director. They are called nominee directors. Then women director. We have studied the general combination. At least one person must be a woman director. So one woman director must also be there. Which companies must appoint this woman director? At least one woman director. Every listed company. You know, listed company means their name is listed in the stock exchange. Okay, or other public limited company, even if it is not listed in the stock exchange, if a company is a public company and its paid up share capital, its paid up share capital is 100 rupees, 100 crore rupees or more. Okay, then that public company must appoint a woman director. Or if the public company's turnover, okay, turnover means sales, if it exceeds 3 crore rupees, then or more exceeds, okay, 3 crore or more than 3 crores, that public company also must appoint a woman director. Okay, then additional directors. Who are the additional directors? That means the additional directors, along with the ordinary directors, a company can appoint any additional directors. Okay, they are called the additional directors. Then alternate directors. Here, as its name, the alternate director is appointed by the board of directors. Okay, these directors are appointed, alternate directors are appointed by the board of directors if any director is absent, okay, in India for more than 3 months. Okay, maybe he is absent to attend the board meeting continuously for 3 months, then that they have to appoint an alternate director and substitute. Okay, substitute we say. But this alternate appointment, director's appointment, must be authorized by the Articles of Association. Articles of Association, or by passing a special resolution. By a special resolution. But here they have to do not need to get the permission from the central government. Okay, but it must be authorized in the Articles of Association, and at the same time they have to pass a resolution with regard to his appointment, alternate director's appointment. Then the last kind is shadow director. Shadow director. Here we can say, as per the name, he is not an ordinary director who does not have any that practical personal influence in the management of the company, but he has some power to manage the company. Okay, he has some power but not direct influence in the management of the company, but it must be as per his or her wish. If he wish, okay, they can be he can act as the director, but he is not actually appointed as the director. Okay, that director is called shadow director. Okay, his name may not be included in the list of the board of directors. Okay, but he has some powers and some rights to act as the director of the company. Okay, now we will learn the number of directors. We have learned already. Once again we are going to learn the minimum number, maximum number. Okay, number of directors to be appointed. First, a public company. First, we will learn the minimum number of members. What are the minimum number of directors to be appointed in a public company? In a public company, every public company must appoint 3 members, 3 directors. Okay, a minimum 3 directors must be appointed. If the company is a private company, it must appoint at least 2 directors. And if a company is a one-person company, that company must appoint 1 person as the director. Okay, he may be the director. Now, what is the maximum number? Maximum number of directors in the board of directors. The company can appoint to the maximum of 15 directors. Okay. Here, at least one director must be a residential director, resident of India. Okay. But a company can appoint more than 15 directors. For this purpose, they have to pass one special resolution to appoint directors more than 15 numbers. They have to pass a special resolution in the general meeting. General meeting means shareholders meeting. Okay, general meeting. But here also the central government's permission is not needed. Okay. So, by just passing a special resolution in the general meeting, they can appoint more directors. But the ordinary maximum limit is 15 directors. Among them, one should be a resident of India. Okay. Now, number of directorship. That means one director can work in how many companies as the director. That is called number of directorship. Directorship of a director. In how many companies he can be a director? To the maximum of 20 companies he can be the director. One person can act as the director in to the maximum of 20 companies. Okay. But again, this one for the public companies. Okay. But or private company or public company, which is the private company or public company, which is the subsidiary company or holding company of a public company. Okay. A private company may be a holding company or subsidiary company. So holding company means it may hold the share of this company. So this is the subsidiary company of this company. Okay. So subsidiary if a company is a holding company or subsidiary company of a public company, then that company, in that type of companies, he can be a director of only 10 companies. Okay, if a person holds more than this maximum limit, then they will be given time, okay, time of 1 year to resign some of the company's directorship. Okay, but if he refuses to resign the directorship of any companies, then he must be penalized or he must be punished by rupees 5,000. Okay, not less than 5,000, minimum 5,000 and maximum 25,000 per every, to the maximum 25,000, but they will charge for each day, every day. For how many days he was holding the max, that he was exceeding the maximum limit of directorship. Okay, the number of directorship.